to another amazing episode of Rulers and Looters. You know, in this program, we discuss the problems in Africa and a way forward. Remember, this is BTV, Anambra State, the Ego Eye, and I am Onyinye Chukwunamko. With me today here in the studio is on my left, Wada Uze, welcome to the program. Thank you. And on my right, Mazi Onyemichi, you are welcome. So we'll be looking at an overview of the impact of European intervention in Africa per se. You know, with Africa being the birthplace of civilization, rich in history, abundance in natural resources, and diversity in cultures that make Africa beautiful. What can you say, Mazi, that the Europe brought in Africa that is new to Africa?
You started by saying that Africa is a great place of mankind. Then, before I enter inside the question to answer it, you know, there has been a kind of controversy that is being trending now about the birthplace of mankind. Some researchers from Europe, these are UK, they started propagating another theory about the birthplace of mankind. Between 2012 and 13, they started a program, and they said that they have discovered another civilized Homo that is older than the one Nigeria and these people discovered in Africa. And with that discovery, they now try to tell the world.
Lawan, who is also the chairman of the National Assembly, disclosed that he has received reports of security threats to the Assembly. Lawan, according to a statement by his special advisor, Media, Ola Awoniyi, made the disclosure in his opening remark at an emergency meeting the leadership of the Senate had with top security officials in the National Assembly. Personally, I had reports from the DSS that we had a security threat, many unknown, and inviting people, many unknown and uninvited. People came or are coming into the complex assembly complex, and we felt we should not take this lightly. From today, we have to find temporary solution to support the security arrangement here. We will find a more permanent solution by the time the entire environment is remodeled, Lawan said. Mazi Brightman, when you look at this very statement, it seems like he is coming more from a selfish angle, because when you look at the scenario that is playing out and the situation that brought the security concern in the community or in the country called Zoo, you see that these people are the main institutors or the main creators of this security threat. So why are they running out from the problem they created? I mean, from your own perspective.
They are not running out from the problem they created. They are only using it to scam themselves. If they want to scam the world, if they want to scam the international community, they talk about Boko Haram. And of course, if they want to lay allegations, they call it terrorists, they call it Boko Haram. Remember, he's talking about DSS bringing in report that there are movements of people, likely unknown people. Why did they not arrest those unknown faces that are moving about? Of course, if you have a place like the National Assembly Complex and you have unknown faces moving around freely, the security forces there, those who are paid heavily to guard it, what is their job? Were they not supposed to check the movement of people, of course, coming into the assembly and all that? That means they are just sitting down and they are being paid at the end of the day. Or it's about politics. Normally, I see it as a political thing, that they wake up from one side of the bed, they want to create an newspaper headline. They want to make newspaper headlines. So they come up and they, of course, start shouting at the top of their voice that Boko Haram is there or whatever. So you see, it is either he's creating a kind of awareness where you trying to push up something where they want to buy new weapons. And of course, they want to talk about Boko Haram, that yes, even in the National Assembly, they are not even safe. That is the type of scenario you want to create. Because if there are threats to the National Assembly, how did the threats come? just because he suspected that movements of people are not checkmated, then he said that, okay, there's a threat, Boko Haram are coming in, and the DSS are giving them such reports. Or maybe did Boko Haram do the normal video? Because all the while we knew how the Boko Haram have operated. When they want to do a thing like that, they do their normal video, or they come out and of course you see them hit. So this time around is according to the report, you are talking about movement of people, and that is enough for him to tell you that yes, we need to beef up. Actually, that is the language on ground, the language of beefing up security. That is the new language in Nigeria, beefing up security. So when you hear this language, know that there's something they are after. It is either they want to collect more money from the international community, or they want to order weapons, or on the other way around, they want to distract your attention from some deadly activities that is being carried out in the evil contraction called Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Bright Oriako, for that wonderful analysis. Of course, Lawan said the responsibility for ensuring security for all Nigerians is a collective responsibility for both the legislative and executive arms of the government. We are working hard, we are working around the clock. We have a very active ad hoc committee that is already engaging with the security agencies as principal officers of the National Assemblies. Or let me say, in the Senate, in this respect, our responsibility and obligation is to ensure that our senators, members of the House of Representatives, workers of the National Assembly, our visitors, and indeed anyone who has a lawful business to do in this National Assembly are safe. Before I even read further, I think, from this standing point of his, he is more concerned about the security of those he referred to as principal officer and high-profile businessmen. So does it mean that the life of ordinary citizens doesn't in any way matter in this very context? Is that what he's trying to insinuate, that they are only more concerned to beef up security to guide and protect those in the presidency, in the Senate, and other Nigerians or other people they call their own citizens should die, or they should be left to their own fate? Because if you look at what is going on, there is a heavy type of insecurity going around. People are being killed every day. People are being killed even as we speak. So why is it that they are much more concerned about their own personal security, and every other person should go to hell?
Yes, that is it. In Nigeria, they don't care about you. It is not your government, it is their government. And of course, those who occupy public offices, they move around circle. Today you're a senator, tomorrow you are this, you're the governor, you're a president. So it's the same group of people moving around and of course occupying the position. You need to get to where their houses are. You cannot access their fences. Their fences are as high as heaven, and of course they live in circles and they move in circles. They are the same people doing the same duty. And of course, when you talk about your own life, they don't care about you. They don't even see you as human being. And of course, cows are more valuable than you as a person thinking you're a Nigerian. Because Nigeria is not a country. Nigeria is not created for human beings. Nigeria is British business center. Don't you understand that in a situation like that, they are after the money that is coming? Remember, all the budgets, their attention is on the budget, their attention on the looting.
All right, Mazi Bright, we do have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good morning, Mazi. Mazi David, good morning. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome. Please tell us
Thank you. All happy. Yes, sir. My name is Uwa Sophia. I'm calling from Norway. I want to make my own contribution.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make my own contribution. My own contribution is that Anambra government, 500 naira man, please release our father, please. We cannot fold our hand and be letting Fulani to kill us. Okay, they are be killing our mother, raping our sister, raping our mother. You people did not recognize it. It's only 3 people that they have killed, and you hold our father ransom. Please, that is why we are shouting. Our Biafra people, most especially the Sat. Please, we don't have time. We don't have time. They will be killing us. They don't recognize it. It's only when they kill 3 people, they come and arrest our father, put them in the prison. So how long can we continue like this? How long? Let everybody rise up against these people. Look at the state I came from. Oshomole knew that Buhari is dead. He don't want to say it out. They are bringing crisis, using people, children to fight their mess. God will punish all of you. Abafemi or Awolowo, nobody here of their children. You people do better do the needful. Anabra 500 naira ma, please release our father for us. Oh. Release it, because what is coming for you guys, you guys will not recognize it at all. You will not recognize it. We are working here hard. We are going to different offices for these people to come and support us, because British, they are faith. If they can leave the European, so we can also leave the zone called Nigeria. We can also live. We can live alone. We cannot live with violent people. We cannot live with killers. Enough is enough. Thank you, Mazi. God bless you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, our wonderful sister. That is our sister from Edo, part of Biafra land, and she has been a formidable Biafra also from all her activities, and she made a very passionate point there. And what would you react to what she just said? You know, it's becoming quite alarming and very obvious that the misleaders we have in Biafra land are not much concerned about the security of their own people, and they only are concerned about their own personal security. So yes, what would you make of that? She
said it straight away. She was right, saying that our fathers must be released. There's no reason why the government, who are not able to secure us, will also keep our fathers in detention to please the Fulanis. You know, that the only reason why those men are kept in detention, chiefs for that matter. You know, every somebody also pointed it out that, see, in the north you cannot see such an arrest. You cannot arrest a local chief in the north. You cannot arrest just because of the Fulani herdsmen, or even because they don't arrest anybody there like that. But here they will detain our people, not detain the Fulani herdsmen. The Mayeti Allah gave instruction to the governor, and to make them happy, the governor by himself keeping this man in detention. So that is the evil thing. Now she pointed it clearly that this man has to release our fathers to us, and she was right.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Bright Riako, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, our fathers must be released, because such a thing, no one dares try to royal personalities over there in the north. That is why we call Nigeria a zoo where things are not balanced, and we Biafrans are subjected under the most inhumane condition. That is why we are crying. That is why we are pleading. That is why we are begging everybody to be part of this very movement, to make sure we put down the zoo. Of course, reading further, for a very long time, the National Assembly will always have people who have no business coming here. With the heightening insecurity in the country, the time has come for this National Assembly to be properly secured for members of the National Assembly to carry out their legislative and other functions under a very safe atmosphere. And of course, our workers, our visitors, what that means that if someone has no business here, that person shouldn't be in the National Assembly, because we are a parliament, and we are a place or an institution where our constituents who feels very strongly about any issue can come and express their opinion. Some will come for protest, some will attend public hearing in the committee rooms, some will visit the gallery, or in some cases even enter the chambers when allowed to do so. So we want everybody, as far as the security of this National Assembly complex is concerned, to be at his place. Those who work here directly with us, the security agencies, know what we are talking about. From the gates, people who shouldn't be here at all find themselves in, and then people come in, moving from one office to the other, looking for nothing, because they have no appointment with anyone, yet they pass through all the security system that we have in place. Even our chambers, when we close from the chamber, you see the lineup of people. You wonder how these people have come in here, and what is their business here. And when you take security for granted, sometimes you may have a bitter experience. We don't want to take that for granted. The safe corridors that we had, at least nothing should happen to it. I don't know if
he would have gone straight to point out what actually he meant, because it's likely there's an unwanted face he was looking at when he was making this statement. It's likely that there's somebody who felt didn't belong to their class that was there, and he was referring, because read the statement, you discover that he's pointing out nothing. If the security men have failed in their duties, he would have pointed clearly that you security men, you failed in your duties, And of course, you are not working. You allow people to move into offices they are not allowed to access. And of course, if he had said that, it would have been clear. But this time around, they keep beating around the bush.
No, but one thing that kept me baffled in all this kind of watery statement he's making is all about the personal security of the legislators and the people working in the National Assembly. Is the only thing he's concerned about. So if he's only much concerned about the National Assembly complex and those working there and legislator, I am talking about the ordinary citizens working on the streets, ordinary people that call themselves the Nigerians or whatever, whoever they are, that their lives are no longer secured. You can be walking on the street and the next thing the Fulani herdsmen will just come out with their knives and their daggers and slit your throats or even kill you with AK-47, and that one will not even make any headline of the day. People will walk about their their daily activities as if nothing is happening, and the so-called legislators in all the green chambers and all the useless chambers they are operating, they are not more concerned about that. They are not putting any measure in place to secure everybody. Why is it that they are much concerned only in securing themselves? That is the area I'm going, because if they are serious about this security situation, they would have a kind of make it a wider or a broader make it in broader perspective, you understand, so that everybody can be secured, not just a particular place being secured, then every other person can die if they wish to do so.
Yes, you are right. Do you know when they are making budgets, you see billions of dollars are budgeted for security, and you are thinking they are using it to secure the people. When they're talking about security for Nigeria, they are talking about security for politicians, because you as a human being, they are just using you as camouflage to say there's a country called Nigeria. There is no country called Nigeria. Nigeria is a scam. They use that name to scam the international community. They register it in United Nations as a country. But actually, there is no country called Nigeria. It is the British Business Center. And of course, those men who do duty for them are the ones that receive the security. So when you're talking about security, you are talking about millions being budgeted, billions being budgeted, and they are using it. They buy the highest security vehicles. They buy the highest private jets. They fly into their bedroom. And of course, their bedrooms are secured with highly technical gadgets of security and all that. So their cars are also very secured. Even their children, their unborn children are secured because they are staff in the British Business Center. That is why you see them getting security. But you see the ordinary man in the streets, because they know in their mind, in their inner mind, there is no country called Nigeria. They know it. It's only the gullible ones that have been deceived, that think they are Nigerians, and they ask you, where are you? Who are you? You say, yes, my name is Bimbo, I'm a Nigerian. My name is Adekunle, I'm a Nigerian. My name is this, I'm a Nigerian. And Hassan, I'm a Nigerian. And because you don't know who you are, you don't even have an identity, because if you really know who you are, you will not look at the British Business Center and say that is your country. There's no country called Nigeria. It's a scam, because even the politicians themselves, inside their mind, they know it. It's only that, yes, when they want to make newspaper publications, when they want to address the press, they say, yes, we Nigerians, because they know they are not Nigerians. They are simply doing business. So when you are talking about them caring about a common man, how would they care about a common man? They look at those people in the street as animals, because they need to explore the land. They need to help their masters. When you talk about exploration, you see that the British system, I keep saying it, that the only reason why they fought to stop slave trade is because they have discovered that there's something called voluntary slavery. And of course, they planted it and they discovered it worked. And they fought, because people were looking at it. The British government you see today that have collapsed, we are at the forefront of fighting to end slave trade. But why would they not stop this evil that is still going on? They won't, because there's a reason for it. So what you are involved is voluntary slavery, because there's monetary system that is governing it. They simply use the monetary system, and of course, when they have collected billions and billions of dollars and explored our land, these are the men that are helping them do it, and they give them all the what they call security. So when there's a budget for security, you are thinking they are going to secure the common man. No, they don't secure the common man. That gun they are importing is to kill the indigenous people. They bring guns, and of course I said it yesterday, and I keep saying it. The gun that is being imported is to make, of course, you're one Nigeria by AK-47. You're one Nigeria at gunpoint. You're one Nigeria by Boko Haram, of course, killing you. You're one Nigeria by Fulani herdsmen coming to your land. And of course, when they say they are beefing up security, it's because they want to kill Biafrans. It's because they want to kill the indigenous people. They want to import more weapons. And when the people want to react, when they suspect the people want to react, you see them importing more weapons. You see them developing more terrorist groups. They are the ones developing it. They are the ones sponsoring it because they want to secure themselves. And of course, they use it to make money from the international community. When they want to collect their own share of the money, and of course from the British government, from all the countries that they are, of course, that is exploring us, they could tell them, yes, that Boko Haram is here. Who created Boko Haram? Who is Boko Haram working for? So you talk about the Islamization agenda. You talk about the security, what they call security. It's not the security of the people, because the people's system has actually collapsed. The indigenous system has actually collapsed. There's no government for the people. There's no government for the people, there's no government fighting for the people, and the people did not make any government by themselves. So the government you talk about is the government that was imposed because there is a British business center that is running. So when you see talking about security, he's only caring about himself because he's a staff of the British system. So that is why you see him talking that way. He doesn't care about you, he doesn't care about the common man in the streets.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Bright Oriako, for that wonderful analysis. Of course, from the look of things and from all indication, it appears that voluntary slavery is more lucrative than the former way of enslaving people by force. When people volunteer themselves to be enslaved, is bringing more profit to the British system. Thank you very much, Mazi Bright. And of course, I read it further. I say we don't want to wait until something happened. This kind of discussion had taken place in the past. This is the 9th Senate. We want to do it differently. The Senate President said plans are underway for a better and permanent security architecture for National Assembly. We want to secure the environment with the necessary security gadgets and technologies to ensure that our parliament is like other parliaments in other climes. Where you have no business in the parliament, you cannot go in, and when you have no business on the first floor, you can only go to the first floor. You can't go to any other floor, Lawan said. The Senate President, however, clarified that nobody is advocating a blanket ban on the people with genuine reason for visiting National Assembly. Let me say clearly that we are trying to do what we are trying to do is not to prevent people who have a lawful reason to be here. When you are coming for a protest, you are free to do so. Our people know where they do their protests, and we normally go out to address them because we sit here on behalf of the people of Nigeria. It is legitimate, it is lawful, it is legal for people to come and show either their support for something or their objection to something that has to do with National Assembly. We have maintained this for as far as I can remember in this National Assembly, and we are going to continue to receive Nigerians who feel strongly about any issue. Of course, we have a caller on the Skype. Caller on Skype, good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
All right, please, can you speak up a little bit? Tell us the name of where you are calling from.
Good morning to you all. Yes, my name is Pastor Jack, and I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, Pastor Jack, you are welcome to the program. Please go ahead and make a contribution.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead and make a contribution, Pastor Jack.
Okay. I listened to your headlines this morning and your analysis, but I just want to keep on that of the elders that we are locked up by order of Allah. You see, our people should remember when Obiano told us that these people is in the government of Anambra State. And of course, they are the actual people ruling Anambra State. That is what it takes. That our people's farms and crops were destroyed severely. And after several complaints, the state government did not take it upon themselves to bring this menace or to stop this menace of being a financial produce until there became a clash. And these people, marauders people, will come and claim damage of 30-something million or thereabout, as the case may be. But all this while, they have deprived these people from going to their farm to cultivate or harvest what they will eat from that same farm, which is the only place they survive from, their livelihood. But they had to order the arrest of our elders, traditional rulers. Till now, Obiano have not been able to do anything. And he said, he talked to the commissioner of police and he said, order from Abuja. What a nonsense. What can I hear till this very moment? You see, this is why people resort to self-defense and taking law into their own hands. I now endorse our people to protest in that Anambra State Government Council to make sure that monster there come out and release these people. If not, there should be unrest in that particular area. There should not be government functioning, daily functioning without doing the needful by freeing these our elders. This is utter nonsense and insult to the sensibility of all of us. How can you did not consider the farm crops and all that were destroyed? You did not consider that these people will no longer feed from this little place they get their little earning from. And what do you consider that cows are kids? What a nonsense, what an insult. Our people must rise up to this occasion and stop this marauder nonsense in our land. If not, all of you and all of us together will be condemned. But we must have to come out, speak up and stop this. We should look for what we do with Obiano, because this nonsense is becoming too much. And then quote every day and also, what a nonsense. That is the only way I want to contribute this morning. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi, Pastor Jack, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, we do appreciate our people have to stand up and speak out against evil and also do everything in their power to make sure we stem the tide of this impending capitalism overtaking our land. Of course, Mazi Bright, do you totally agree with Pastor Jack's statement?
Yes, of course, until the people stands up. You see, the only reason why the British system was forced to adopt the voluntary slavery was because the people stood up. Yes, the time came when, of course, when slaves started standing up to themselves, fighting to stop it, and of course they looked at it as, okay, we could do it in a different way. Let's enslave them in their homes. So if you don't stand up to fight, things will get worse. If you don't stand up to ask for your rights, it's not given. Freedom is not given by the oppressor. No, you will not get free. If you just sit down and watch your oppressor oppressing you, you don't get free. You only stand up and, of course, look at him eyeball to eyeball and face it. So our people must stand up and, of course, decide to hold the government responsible until those chiefs. I don't see any reason anyway, because it's arrogant for all men, because you see that the likes of our leader his father was killed by the Nigerian government and everybody kept quiet. You remember Evi said it some minutes ago, that if Eze of Afaruku Beku and his wife died in this process by the Nigerian government and the people kept quiet, tell me what else? So you see that you have other chiefs from other neighboring communities who are keeping quiet, who are watching because it's not in their own community. And of course, when it is not your own community, so because it is not them, they are just looking away, because the evil they have lived with it and it has become a normal thing. It's a normal thing for you to see dead bodies littering the streets of Nigeria. It is a normal thing. It is normal for the Nigerian government to look at you, and it is normal for SARS to kill innocent people and, of course, label you criminal. It is normal that you are tortured to death by the Nigerian security forces. And once it's not you, all you need to do is keep straight face and walk away. And that is the evil. So the people need to understand that it is happening to A today. It could be your turn tomorrow. When you see evil going on and you refuse to stop it, it may be your turn tomorrow. So what you see that is going on must be stopped. People must stand up. chiefs around those communities must stand up. Young boys and young girls must stand up and ask the government to do something to release those community leaders. Not just to release them. Those crops that were damaged by the Fulani herdsmen has to be paid for. They have to pay for it. Those Fulani herdsmen have to be arrested. You need to insist on this. If it is in the north, they can't allow it. They will make sure that the government stands up to do something. But I don't know why people are sitting down. They are waiting for Mazen and the Kanu to, of course, come and fight for it. They are waiting for Uchemefo. If not the Biafras, no, people are just keeping mute. Look, chiefs, those with high profile politicians, they are keeping quiet as if it is normal to arrest chiefs and detain them because of Fulani herdsmen. That is the evil that is going on, and we need to stand up and stop it.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Bright, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, Biafrans are all fans of freedom. We have less than 9 minutes to go, and the lines are still open for you to call in to make your contribution based on these topics we have been discussing so far. Call in to make your contribution and also to give your support. Of course, this is our daily news analysis. We've been talking on the security issue that is bedeviling the zoo contraption called Nigeria and those who created the situation. You know, Mazi Bright, just like you pointed out, Mazi Evis, he has a point there regarding the death of our parents in the presence of Mazi Israel Okukano and his lovely wife who got killed by the Nigerian army, or who got killed as a result of the act of terrorism and evil committed by the Nigerian army. And you know, that reminds me, why is it that a lot of people who are in such positions kept quiet? Because I should have seen AZEs or group of chiefs and other community leaders coming out in their mass to condemn it. Because when you don't condemn evil, it means that you are somehow sympathetic to that very evil. So why is it very difficult for our people, or the people we call leaders, to condemn such a dastardly act that happened in Biafran land? Everybody kept quiet and the whole thing was just swept under carpet.
Good morning, good afternoon. Hello viewers, how are you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone, and welcome to another amazing episode of Rulers and Looters. You know, in this program, we discuss the problems in Africa and a way forward. Remember, this is BTV, Anambra State, the Ego Eye, and I am Onyinye Chukwunamko. With me today here in the studio is on my left, Wada Uze. Welcome to the program. Thank you. And on my right, Mazi Onyemaechi, you are welcome. So we'll be looking at an overview of the impact of European intervention in Africa per se. You know, with Africa being the birthplace of civilization, rich in history, abundance of natural resources, and diversity in cultures that make Africa beautiful. What can you say, Mazi, that the Europe brought in Africa that is new to Africa?
You started by saying that Africa is a great place of mankind. Then, before I enter inside the question to answer it, you know, there has been a kind of controversy that is being trending now about the birthplace of mankind. Some researchers from Europe, they started propagating another theory about the birthplace of mankind. Between 2012 and 2013, they started a program, and they said that they have discovered another civilized Homo sapiens that is older than the one Nigeria and these people discovered in Africa. And with that discovery, they now try to tell the world that the Europe is the birthplace of humankind. But I thank God, they are the people that gave us the former theory about evolution in the person of Charles Darwin and his team. Now, this group of people from the same Europe, they are coming. That is how they rewrite history. Now, coming to the benefit or whatever they brought to Africa, every race, every nation has its own civilization. And man is not a static animal. Man is evolutionary in nature. We evolve from one place to another place. So is our civilization. Africa has its own civilization. Even if it is primitive, we know as we continue, we evolve in our civilization will start to grow. But the problem is that the Europeans, the white men, they were faster enough studying the environment and other people's environment. They discovered that in economics, they said that resources are scarce. Then, seeing that they will need Africa to sustain their own economy and politics, you know what they did? They invaded Africa, conquered Africa, and gave us what they see or they call their superior civilization. And by then, they have destroyed everything we have as a race. So then coming down here to give us what they term better civilization to our own is a force. Though we may say that they started developing before us, but that doesn't mean that we are backward as a human being. So they come in with good things, yes, but at the same time, all those good things is not without their own personal interest. It's their personal interest that is driving them because they are not politicians. So what they are doing is to give us something and take even the greater one. That is what I will say that the white man have. The benefit we get from them is not all that positive, but the negative impact is what we are suffering even today.
Okay, over to you, Mother. What can you say it is that Europe brought to Africa that you can turn positive or entirely new to Africa?
Alright, I'll cite an example with the place that we are into as a reference. I know that from the story I've heard from my father and read, I noticed that our people are Republican in nature. So talking about bringing something new to Africa or down to us, the only thing you know about all these colonial masters is that they are very good. And there is no way they can invade a place without having a personal interest, just like Manzi Onyemaechi said. So when they came to Africa, their sole interest is nothing but to make sure that we move into the slave trade, just like in the previous program that we did. We talked about having a slave, that's field slave, referring to the masses, talking about the slave, that's the major slave, which are those people that's the cabals of Nigeria. So then you talk about the slave, that's our politicians, which we have here. So when you talk about the colonial masters or what the Europeans did for what that thing that is positive, which they did to us, if you talk about clothing, the one that we have putting on before, I think it's better. Because looking at our young girls and guys these days, you see something, they are going naked on the road. Understand? Then talking about the government with the work, the one we have is 100% better than what we have now. Because what we have now, you see that those people in leadership, they are no longer leading us. Rather, they are busy and busy, just like the topic implies. What we have, they are just rulers and looters. They will just steal money and call it looting. Yeah? Why a common man in the street will just maybe steal 5 naira something and you see that the person will be stoned to death. Understand? And these people are there stealing million and calling it looting, giving it all sorts of names in order to just make themselves let it look as if that thing they are doing is nothing. So then when you talk about the culture, you see that the culture which they bring to us, or when you talk about the tradition which they bring to us, there is nothing good about it. Alright, looking at how our brothers in Israel, the way they worship the Creator, you see that our forefathers during their days of I talked about how they sacrifice animals to Almighty. That's before the temple, when the temple was still in existence, before it fell. You see that most of the way they sacrifice the animals to the Almighty is the same way that our forefathers do it here. Understand? So there was something that we'll talk about. Okay, they said that our forefathers are worshiping idol, but they brought a greater head. That's the one they paint. They colored it, mold it, and paint it down. That is foreign idol or the foreign god to them. Then now we are worshiping that. Understand? So when you look into a lot of things, you talk about education. People there is no letter, just like in English. Some people in British English. Someone will tell you bending corner. Then the other one will say behind. And our people now join corner and then behind together and we say bending corner. Understand? So when you look at a lot of things they brought to us, you see that these people, they did not help us. Rather, they bring their own theory to confuse us, and that confusion now invite into us, and our people start to be enslaved because they are now in the state of confusion, and we are doing things that do not work.
Okay, Africa being in the state of confusion. Okay, now let's look at Europeans' deep involvement in slavery, because we all know that they were deeply involved and even unwilling to abort slavery, and now they are claiming that they have a good interest in Africa. Now, how do you reconcile this? So these are the same people that were unwilling to abort slavery, and now they are intervening per se, that they are trying to help Africa. Now, how do you want to reconcile this?
We will talk about the three things that happened to Africa and our relationship with the white men. Not only slavery. You know, history, they started giving out our history. The date was 18th century. But African history started beyond that. If you go down to 16th, you see that Africa has been in a trade relationship for white. Yes. They have been in that trade relationship. But until they discover our richness in resources and their own land resources, being that they started organizing themselves because of their concept and their principle values, they started organizing themselves on the leadership structure. Now, they started to build institutions in their own areas. Then in the way of doing all those things, they begin to see how are we going to sustain our richness or whatever we have as a people through the document or the history written by Mark Apollo from Greece on his expedition in all the nations of the world. Then they discover that there has been civilization outside their own domain. And the politician now went into all these areas this guy portrayed in his books. Then Africa was also included. They entered inside Africa. They now study Africa, saw what Africa means. Now, we are no longer taking our goods to their domain, but they decided to enter inside our own territory. Then when they came and discovered through their studies, our psychological disciplines, they saw that in African man, his belly is more important than every other thing. So you know what they do? They now come in with the finished goods they have produced. All these greedy men, they saw, they begin to extend all those things, whiskey, brandy, all these fashionable something. Now, immediately they started doing that. They introduced this slave trade that abolished our first relationship. So they use slave trade. Before they do that, they started showing us, the Africa, that we are inferior human beings. We are barbaric in nature. Destroy everything about us, our history, our origin. They destroy all these things. Now, if you go into their written document, you will see that African man doesn't have origin. He doesn't have history, religion, or even culture. So, if you don't have these four things, it means that you are a soulless being. You see, so that's why they now begin to say that we are black monkeys. Now, when you go back to history, according to Charles Darwin, saying that the first man was discovered in Africa, then ask yourself, if the first man is being discovered in Africa, how is then that we don't have history? So they destroy all these things before so that they can have that access in buying our people. They saw we have mineral resources, all these natural resources, and also they saw again enough the potential that they need, human resources. You know, they have many things. This French Revolution of 1781 upwards, those industrial revolution, they need Africa to do what? To build up their industry. Yes, they started buying Africa through those greedy individuals. And by doing that, Africans begin to see themselves as inferior because we don't have a religion. You know, civilization started in Africa.
Yes.
They discovered first man in Africa. Civilization also started in Africa. So also philosophy. And you know, philosophy is mother of all science. Now, how can a continent where civilization started, they don't have origin? You know, when the conqueror is telling the story of the conqueror,
Yes.
they will paint that conquer whatever they want to paint it to. If you go to Egypt, you will see that all these ancient wisdoms emanated from Egypt. But what they did, the Greeks, what they did was through this emperor, Philip, the son of Alexander, son of Philip, he conquered most of the Asian things. Then he entered inside Egypt, built his university there. University, Alexandria University, Egypt. Now, when they built that inside Egypt, you know what they did? They transfer all the ancient knowledge down to Greece. That is their tactics. When they came inside Africa with slave trade, they saw that slave trading will not yield what they want. Now, when Oluwada started the campaign of abolishing slave trade, the same politicians, they now saw again that if we don't do something now, when this campaign gain momentum, the whole world will now gang up against them. So they decided to say, okay, we are abolishing slavery or slave trade, but at the same time, they continue having. That is why after slave whatever, they now created another concept, racism. They are the people that are creating all those things. Racism. You are from white race, you are from black race. And when a black man in Europe, you say, no, you are a minority. So the governance of Europe, no, you are a minority. Black monkey, all this. So when you look at all they are abolished slave trade, but in principle, it wasn't abolished. So that is the problem Africa is facing because of all this.
All right, thank you about that, man. Over to you, man. Do you think that with the abolition of slavery, that Africans are free from the Westerners and Thai?
That is, it's also something with what is happening in Nigeria, for instance. They tell you that they are considering a particular project, and that particular project will only be completed in billboard or newspapers. and can. So talking about abolishing slave trade, just like Mazi said, it's just something they just write in paper and practical, something like that does not happen because our people are still under slavery. He talked about after their colonization, those people talking about those people they put in place. When they come down to Nigeria, for instance, I'll use this place as an example. I will also use here to cite an example. When they come down to Nigeria, for instance, they looked at Biafrans and noticed that these people that are not the type of people they can just use anyhow. They now look at Yoruba, that's the Oduduwas, and notice that these people, they are a bit common, you cannot just trust these people. They now look at Fulanis, that's just like in one of the programs when one of the guests was talking about Nnamdi Azikiwe. You notice that they just brought people from different places in order to bring them, just merge us together in order to make sure that this particular place, because they have removed the history, just like you said, from the book, even if you go to school now, history is not here, they don't teach history in schools again. You see that when they remove, when they bring these people, looking at the age of all these people, they bring up as leaders, as at that time, we talk about January 15 boys and the rest. You see that some of them will tell you that I am 27, so and so, at the time the war broke up. Then when you start to ask yourself, if this one is 21 or 27 as at 1967, then how many years would this guy be when during the amalgamation? You notice that what these people simply did is nothing but the slave trade is still there. Just like I believe it's Mazi Onyewich that said that during the last program. He talked about looking at slave trade. The cabals are now masters, the master slave. They now bring up the other part, that's the political elites, which you have from the other two tribes of Nigeria. They now become their own slave equality to the cabals. Why the people at the markets, more people are now able to yes, because when you look at something happen and you look at people to talk, you will see this attitude of things are gone this way. Like when you meet some of our people, they will say, leave that thing, that's the way it is being done. I will be managing ourselves, and Nigeria, they are not giving us anything, and so we have been managing. So that plans now, they now enter into most of our young men now. They now see that there is nothing we have to do with this thing. So we are still slaves under this thing. And the only reason why they continue to do this is nothing that just like he said that after slave trade they now bring about racism, and they now use war to crown it all. Because when you look at what is happening now, the Fulanis are now, they still want to maintain power, they still want to retain that power which they have, because aside from that there is nothing else they can do. So they now say that, let me just say, then even people that so far Biafrans will come up to Yoruba land to develop it, there is no place you go to without seeing Biafran people there, because they are always there to make sure that things are moving. So because the Biafrans, they have this in their nature that do not give us, that we will do this, I can do this. So now knowing that, because as at that time people are not that much, you cannot sell your own sibling. So they now notice that this slave trade, just like you said, is no longer something that is moving. They now change to that, yes, they now bring about the organization, put these people in power, and we are now fighting each other. And that is why when you get to, they now bring about seize geographical zone in Nigeria, and this is south-south, and this is south-east, this is south-west. Only three, that's the two tribes, now have south-east, south-south, and south-west. Then the northerners, I don't know what these people are trying to say. So when you look at this, you see that it's a way that after they say in paper that they have abolished slave trade, they bring about the organization which they said are now a country which is independent, but we are still dependent on them. Because when you talk about the political, that's people that will represent us in the international community, you see that we have no say. Yes. Look at this is February 16 that presidential election is conducted, people went out to vote. Do they vote Mr. Muhammad Buhari? No, Mr. Muhammad Buhari Jibril. Understand? So people did not vote him, but he's there, and he puts every person. That when you talk about the major, when you get to the judiciary, it is there are people that are there. So there is nothing any person can come up. Yes, say about it. When you talk about executive and rest, there are people, they just feel there are people there. So there is no way the masses can say anything. Then who is going to come out to talk? Aside from Martin and the guy that just came up to just try to break us.
You know, Africans are still slaves. Mazi, talking about history that have been denied our people in school, can you tell us a bit about the mass suicide of Biafra? I can't remember the name of the port. I don't know whether you remember the story of Biafra. Instead of being slaves, they decided to commit suicide.
Talking of the Caribbean round, the Igbos. I will not be, I can't be, but the only thing I'll point out there is that the bravery in our people also follow them to wherever they are. In the slave ship, when they were going, most of them saw that their origin had been snatched away from them. Their religion also, everything about them. Just like our brothers Israel, they say, how can I sing the Lord's song in the strange land? And they say, if I denounce Jerusalem, let my right hand win. So these are brothers, they saw these things and said, no, instead of what going inside your territory and becoming your slave, you'd rather die standing a free man than live kneeling as a slave. They walk into the ocean. And these people are watching them. They were watching them drown. In that part of America, they built a kind of memorial history to remember our people. So that's why whenever they hear that we are from Nigeria, first thing they will ask you for which tribe. When you say Igbo, they will welcome you, they will ask the great man. So in the whole world, the Biafra and the colonized as civilized people. My friend was telling me what he encountered Australia. Yes, Australia. Then he said that one of his friends was called to, somebody sued him to court. When the judge saw the man and they asked him, where are you from? He said, Nigeria. Which part of Nigeria? He said, Igbo. From the eastern part. Okay, Igbo, all right. He called the complainant. I will not judge this case. That this man has won already. Then after everything, he was asked, what? He said, no, I can't face this guy. That any evil man that will drop the court must defeat you because he will have all the details of the case. Intelligently. So what I'm trying to point out is that most of our people, but the only thing that is marveling me now is a kind of a disheartening state that I'm facing. We are those our forefathers. They are no longer here with us. We are mostly cowards this time. We don't fight. Our belly is now our God, not our future. So, but there is one thing I want to point out. You know, the white man, they are so cunning because they believe that to make name is more than any other thing. Not amassing wealth for themselves. They believe that what they leave behind for their people will not talk for them till life. Now, like I said before, I said slavery and colonialism. When they come inside our territory, Africa, studying everything about us, They saw all the good things in Africa and also the bad things in Africa. You know what they did? They took the good one and said that good one is again. Now, they enthroned the bad one, those evil one, renamed it, and used democracy to grow it. You know what they did? The tyranny or dictatorship that they saw in some of our people, they enthroned it. Use democracy, abolish our republican nature, our libertarian nature. They took it away, enthroned the kingship, where the king would be running it over the subject. They enthroned it, but they clothed it with their democracy. Now, look at what they did. When they empower that individual, destroying the institution, but in their own time, we are busy and are still busy building the institution, so that the institution will be powerful more than any individual in their society. But in our own case, you know what they did? When they enthroned the dictators, they empower individuals, building individuals. All these international companies that you see that are scattered all over the Africa, you know what they will do? When they saw an individual who is a greedy human being, they now empower that person with money. This company, you will have to share as far as you allow us to be taking all this. So when those people, those greedy ones saw the benefit of money and power and every other thing, they will not like to relinquish it. Now, yet they will continue to say that Democrats are on power. Democrats, they say it's a government of the people, for the people and by the people. Now, but in our own case, what they try or succeeded doing is making it government of the few, for the few and by the few. So, when those few make decisions, they will not seek the opinion of the masses, which the principle of democracy likely lies on the masses, the people, not the selected few. The selected few are the people who give the opportunity to represent us, directing and guiding, executing whatever we decide as a people. But the white men, especially the Britain, what they did is taking that power, that sovereignty from the people, handing it over to you. Now, if you go to Europe or other Western world, do your politics, do everything you can behind the scene. Once you are discovered, judgment will follow you. That is why whenever you hear somebody, President Clinton, when Louis was accusing him of all this, you know why it is true. You know why he did not resign? Because when they are in the heat of that allegation and counter allegation, denial and everything, President Clinton came up openly and said, yes, actually I have some sexual affair with that. Then after saying that it's okay, he has confessed, let him continue. But had it been that he stood on his denial stand and the court proved it otherwise, he would resign, because the institution is powerful than. But come to Africa, then he come down to Nigeria. When Benga accused his father of sleeping with his wife, case closed. the man still remains on top, even when every evidence is pointing out, yes, it's true. But nobody did anything. Then, when you come, so what I'm trying to point out is that the white men come, when they saw the good things in us, they took it and use those concepts to build their own. They gave us their own because it's there that we hear of emperor, king, lord, supreme. All those he is the Lord. Everything. Now, but we have our own, like in Biafra. When you want to paint the nature of Biafra, the belief of Biafra, you will see that we have this democratical principle and republican policy. Because we have women to do more work. All these people, they are again the leaders of each community, because all of them will be having their meeting. They will also be having their representative in the cabinet of this. So when you look at all those things, so there will be no room for dictatorship, because if you come down to our own town now, if you do anything and no matter, if you enter into their listing, book of whatever, your own don't permit, because you must leave that place. If you don't want to leave, boy can. And no man will even English or this area. None of them will like to enter into the house of woman. So that's what I'm because they took all these things away from us and gave us their own. All this is our problem. That's why I say what they did to Africa is more on the negative one than the positive. So them claiming to say that they are now interfering, coming to Africa to help Africa to yes. Like I was discussing with somebody, he said that our religion, our culture is dirty, is barbaric, is brutal, fetish, and all those things. And I asked him, are you trying to tell me that this dirty religion or fetish religion and all these barbaric acts is peculiar to Africa? You say, what do I mean? I said, answer me, is it a peculiar phenomenon only in Africa? Is there no other? Do you know, I'm not asking, do you know that the Roman Empire, during those times, you know all these games that we are seeing now, they are all their worshiping system. Wrestling is also, they use it to worship their God. Yes. You will be hearing these circles and gladiators. They are using all those sports to sacrifice blood to their. And after everything, the guy was like, and I'll tell you that all this, that is why the message of Jesus, the Christ, when he came, I call it that he came with a superior civilization, not to abolish religion, but to take away all these Edenic and paganist elements that is being seen in other religions.
All right, thank you about that, Mazi. Over to you, Madam. African struggle for self-determination, do you think that is aimed at her national liberty or a struggle against colonization?
Not just the struggle against those people that colonize them. We'll talk about national liberation. Just like from what Mansi Onimechi just said. When you look at what happened, when you remove people's rights to say that this is the person that we want to be the leader, that just speak for us. And when you lose that right to say something like that, is that person a human? You will just be right like an animal. Yeah. When we go to political, that's international political status, there is nobody to represent or speak for us or say our mind at that place. Instead of letting the colonial masters dictate that this is what and what they want for us. Just like look at the summit that the president, global president attended. When Muhammad Buhari, Muhammad Buhari delayed went to that summit last year. Instead of talking about the interest of Nigeria, what did he say? He come up with Palestinians. living what is within his own domain.
Yes.
He now talk about what other country is suffering from. Can you see something like that?
Yes.
Then instead of bringing up problems, other presidents when they come up, they will tell you that this is what their company is facing and these are the things they have achieved. They do not have something like that. So when somebody is fighting to make sure that somebody that is going to present a thing is going to speak their mind, or that when that person gets to that place, he will make sure that he brings home whatever other presidents are taking to their own country.
Yeah.
And something like that did not exist. When somebody is fighting for that, is it a bad thing? I don't think it is. Then just like he said earlier, talking about culture. People without a culture, they are not human. Understand? We do not have culture any longer. You will see little child these days. Sometimes they will even keep quiet for you and not to bring them. These are the type of things. Okay, when I was small, I know what we call a bomb that's coming out to play the moonlight. Who do build a pyramid, which Amazon was talking about being found in Israel. And we sing in Ajambu, the many women but just not the throwing sound. But those things now, children don't come out to play any longer. So yes, they're just moving out again. But all these are the type of things that we do. During that time, understand? So talking about is it against the colonial masters? No. We are not against those people that just come, like he rightly said, when they came down to Africa, their intention, the first people that the journalists, when they came down to this place, their intention was just to move around, yes, see what is happening, and they don't notice that people have been existing here. These people, they are civilized, you know. They now write these things and keep. We are just like Martin Africa. If you want to kill an Igbo man, the Biafra, just bring book for that. Give that person a book to read. You see that person will just run. We do not listen to radio. We do not like to read, and because of something like that, because those people value things like that, they value to keep records. Then when somebody come up, just like even in this politics, when you look at these politicians, you see that when Anambra, let me use Anambra State. We are in Anambra, so let me use Anambra State as an example. When Obi was the governor of Anambra State, there are some projects which he did not complete, and some of them he have paid some money to the contractors. When Obiano came up, instead for him to continue those projects, he will just forget about the project and want to bring up his own. They were saying that if he complete this particular project, that at last they will say that because this person started this project, but this is the person that completed it. They do not have something like that. So what Africans, I believe Africans, because that thing which is in us, we do not want Martin and Campbell say that there is no Biafran that will not like to be in the head. That's why always create room for them to be this or be that, because we did not want to be under any particular person. That is why when you get to a Biafran that is living in one room, you will see home theater there. You will see big phone. I'm not talking about small student phone. You will see 4x6 or the bigger family size phone in that house. You will see generator. Some of them say, you not even see I pass my home. It will be a big. You will see the person with equally flat screen television. So every person, Biafrans, we do not want to. Let me go to this person and people see what is happening there. We want to be comfortable. That is why we do anything, no matter how dirty that particular job is. That is why you see our people moving down to the Western world. Some of them are mortuary attendants. They clean it. I mean, you use stuff that will come back to the active people. We are hearing their mates down there. Yeah. So what we are fighting for is not just those people that just come to colonize us. We hate slavery with everything in us. That is what we want. Whatever we say, what we want to matter. Yes. That is the simple truth, and it will never change.
Okay, let's talk about the need for unity in Africa. Do you think that Africans today are united compared to the Africans of the past?
There are something I want to point out.
Okay.
You know, when you say is Africa fighting our fight for self-determination, is it targeting, are we targeting Ghanaian master or within our own district? Before we enter that, we will first of all establish one for a fact. Our founding fathers, those they call Pan-Africanists. The main reason they started doing all these things was to free ourselves from the white supremacy. It is not geared towards fighting them, they say. But as the pioneers of this Pan-Africanism, once they passed out, the new one that came, that has some agreement and arrangement with the white people. What they were now doing is what Machiavelli said, they want to defeat your boss, first of all, influence the mob. So, yes. So when you do that, then if the master saw that you will not defeat you, they will not call you for discussion. So, because the pioneers of Pan-Africanism, it was a very, very shocking discovery that I made. You know, we used to call Zik of Africa. But when I went through the Pan-Africanist to know those that are championing this ideology, you know, Zik wasn't there. He's not in the list. Though his mentor was on the Nigerian, but he is not in the list. Now, it dawned on me, why is it that he's not in the list? I studied all these Pan-Africanists. Nkrumah, when he got independent, he changed Gold Coast to Ghana. Naturally, African man. Thomas Sankara, when he won or the throne the leaders installed by the French people, he changed Upper Volta to Burkina Faso. Tanganyika, Tanzania, when the God will have his name, when I remember the president, he changed it from Tanzania to Tanzania, Africa. But when the so-called Zik of Africa, he fought in the boat to get independence of this contraction. The white man gave this contraction Nigeria. He won it. Now he did not change it like the Pan-Africanists. So now I say, oh my God. So you mean that there is no Pan-Africanist in this contraction? Why? Because the white men, when they come, before our trade was, we used to carry our business go there. When they come and take slavery during the Cold War, after everything. Now, but what they did now was to come into their colonialism, to build their empire within our system. After they want to give the independence, they also brought out their boys and give our district to them. So that is the problem. So this group of people who are not Pan-Africanists, they are not fighting to self-determined nation or continent of Africa. They were only fighting for their own power. So coming to your question on the area of
unity in Africa, how can it be
possible? The possibility of it. How can it be possible? This and white, like the seven sisters of Europe, Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Spain, and Portugal. They divided Africa as their own estates. Okay. After the Cold War, they discovered that if they continue to battle supremacy in all these colonies, that they will enter into another war. That is Third World War. You know what they did? In 1860, They said, no, they did that before this one. They partition all Africa, say, okay, this is your own spoil, this is your own spoil, let us use it for our own benefit. And in doing all those things, they created nations within African continent, people with people of diverse, not only religion, but belief system. When they come to Nigeria, they will take one part of Biafra and add it up to the one part of Yoruba, they will give it to Arewas. Or they will also take it, add it to another country. When all these different value systems, individuals are now organized in one place, you think that place will have unity? No, it can never. So, Africa fighting to be one. That is what Kwame Nkrumah said. He said, before we do that, what we will do is to build our own concept. Number one, that we are one people. Now, breaking ourselves out of Western imperialism, we come back to our destiny. Change everything the white man introduced in our system, even the boundaries. So, when we come down and sit at the round table, yes, the colonial master did this, but this is what we are going to do. And that is why the white man saw him as a problem. That they killed him. Though he did not die that moment, the bomb inflicted a wound on his breast. And that was the thing that led to his death. Because the poison defy all Western law. The African that is the thing that is using to sustain himself. But when one Western stooge came and dethrone him, chased him away, he did not went to Vietnam for a meeting with the solution drug that he needed. Before that guy went into power, they thrown Kwame Nkrumah and formed his own government with amnesty and everything. They did not allow Kwame Nkrumah to come back to Ghana. So that was the reason why I died. Thomas Sankara, the same thing. What the white man was doing, we need saw people that will do everything possible to bring Africa unified. But before you do that, you must start from somewhere. If you are unable, if you cannot train your family, you are a man, you have a wife, children, but if you cannot control them, organize them, build them to be a normal individual, you cannot rule a community. Now, think of Africa. Let me go to you. He was fighting for the good, for the whole African nation. Let me use it that way. But he is unable to organize his immediate own. I'm not talking about Nigeria.
Yeah.
His own people. How can you rule the wider Africa? But Kwame Nkrumah was able to do what? To organize Ghana. Bring them to a enviable height. Before this slave to come and they came into power and destroy everything. Now they always come back and they restore Ghana. Now Ghana is the big brother in Africa and South Africa. But the big for nothing, the giant of Africa is nowhere to be found. So what I'm trying to point out, it is possible, but Africa must have a leader nation. Yes, a nation will that will be their leader. If you don't have that nation that will be their leader, Africa cannot unite. Look at it now, you see xenophobia is rising every day. We are talking about South Africa now, it's in the so-called Nigeria. Yes, now.
Yes.
When the Yorubas are saying that people should go, is it not a xenophobia? Yes. When they say that they should not vote, that they will They will not allow them to choose whomever they want. Is it not xenophobia? And yet, at the same time, they say that they are one Nigeria. Is it not the deception? So what I'm trying to say, it is, yes, it is possible. But without a leader nation, it is highly impossible.
All right, the question you asked me, I believe there is hope. And I said that Biafra is the only hope. Why I say this is when you look at I'll say first of all, thank you to Mazin American. He talked about having nations that will lead. Yes, that will lead. I see that in Biafra. Reason why I say I see that in Biafra is the first thing Mazin can do was nothing but to make sure that Ishebiru, Ishekiri, Ibibio, Ewanke, Anan, Efam, Igbo, all of that, the 11, that first thing they know is that we have same tradition. If you want to doubt yourself, because there is no way we'll talk about bringing Africa coming up again without, first of all, people knowing their value. Yes, we believe, this is what we believe in. And once we come together, we have, the problem we're having is the political elites, but I know that majority of the masses, looking at what is happening down in the Biafra this time around, looking at what is happening in the Igbo Chad, what they call the river state, you see that most of these riverine areas, with what is happening and the reaction of our people down there, you see that they have now believed that we are one people. So, when you look at the strategy of the Islam people of Biafra IPOB, you see that with that in which they are putting in place, first of all, this, just like you said, that they divided us in order to get all these things installed, in order for it to be difficult to make African one again. So, just like you said, if we Biafrans, like Mazin Namkan is doing now, this destroy those nonsense which they build. Understand? And which is doing a great job. Because when you look at all these brothers, now they know that we are one. We are brothers. That indeed that these people, especially the Igbo extraction, the thing is already in them to. I hate to be. Yes, so they're under somebody. They always want to be school. They know that this is their life, and they are not trying to take that which belongs to another person. So they are starting to understand now. They talk about election. Why it's time not to vote? Why would you say something like that? Now, imagine I'm going to say, okay, let me tell you who to vote, so that you will see that even if you vote, your vote will still not count. Understand? So now, a lot of people, they bring up that strategy in order to make sure that what he builds will be scattered. Because assuming he did not call off that election, a lot of people will say that it is because of IPOB. IPOB is because why people did not vote, and that is why Buhari is going back to that seat again. So he now called it off. And people now, even those people, there are some people that I do follow on Facebook, and sometimes I laugh. There are some things I will see on their posts, I will start to laugh and say, BBC, get me my BBC that is going to help me. I've been seeing it now. So a lot of them have said to go, it was not yesterday that I was reading about deputy, he said he is a person something to good Dr. Jonathan Day, and he campaigned as the deputy governor of, I think, Osun State or something. He was saying that now we know that Nigeria, there is nothing that they will do to Nigeria in order for Nigeria to come back again. Why did he say that? He said he talked about how they moved during even the time of from 1999 to the time of Goodluck Jonathan, how they moved from coast to coast in order to. He said there is nothing they will do to Nigeria in order for it to work again. And I do not call her. I do not call Nigeria because it's not a motherland. It's a fatherland. Understand? So Nigeria, Africa will come back again with the strategy which Mazin African is in place. Because once we are complying with the way or the way the is being led, yes, you see that we will come up together, and before you know what is happening, there's one in the and it is moving together. So there is still a lot of hope. But I call on people, I call our viewers, because especially those people, the 11 guys that go to people, call whatever you call yourself, but you know that you people are trying to rappers. the normal tradition of you do that, those things is in your culture. Make sure you partake, because we are moving to a greater era. The white people have, indeed, those people that colonize us, they have indeed destroyed Africa, and we are going to come back if we follow as non-Catholic. Stop saying that it is not you, because it can never be you when you are not called to do that. So the simple thing there is, if you love yourself, we are not just talking about, okay, look at what is happening now. If you look at how we are suffering now, what will our next generation, that's our unborn children, how will they live in this place? You see that aside from Islamizing the whole country, I don't think it will get any worse. Yes, getting worse.
And the only hope is Biafra moving Africa forward. Sure. Okay, that's nice. Mazi, what do you think are the challenges of democracy in Africa?
The challenges of democracy in Africa. First of all, do Africa have democracy? They don't have democracy. What they have is the imposition of white man's way of leadership. Before you talk of democracy, every region has something that they will be doing so that they will succeed or progress. Do Africa, have they sat down, or are they now sitting down, studying their environment to provide solution to this pyramid of problems that are facing it? And they sat down and say, what actually do you want to progress? No, they didn't do that. All they are doing is what they get from their colonial masters. Those are our prophets, politicians, that started to build African concept. The white men use their brother to take them out of the sin. So, we don't have democracy yet. Why I say that? You see all African countries and nations, they're trying to model to fit to the criterion of their master. You see, in Europe, UN, you see them dictating to Africa the system of democracy that they want them. In fact, this democracy that we are practicing now, we are practicing it because all these white men, they say this is what we must practice. If we deviate from it, all these aids that are coming from Europe, all this Western world, they will cut it off. Now, but if you go to Asia, the Asian continent, they sat down, study their region, study everything about them, study their psychology, study their environment, the ecological and geographical structure, study everything. But because that is governance, that is leadership, you must know the character of everything that is in your diet. They study that and know that their problem now is not leadership itself. First of all, we must gain economic power. We must also gain technological power. All these four something. We must enter into, come to think of it, you know that China is not practicing democracy. Yet, they were members of G8 or what? They were not practicing, or they are not practicing democracy. If you go to Ghana, to China now, if you are found guilty of any capital offense, they will be killed. But democracy says you will not be killed. They will give you a kind of this. But yet, because they are technological advances, they are among the people that are ruling the world. Because of that. Now, why is it that the Western world does not impose a sanction on them because we are not practicing democracy? Because they have something to offer to the world. Okay, look at this, the new one they call madman. King Jong-un of North Korea. He was threatening every nation. If you do this, I will bomb you, I will do this. Texting missile. And the UN are stop building all these missiles. The guy used something to close his ear. They continue to build. Now, the same guy is now having series of meetings with Donald Trump and other world leaders.